Hi guys, I'm South African artist Lillian Gray and the owner of the Lillian Gray Fine Art School. Today's lesson is all about shading. One of the 7 elements of art is form. And to create form, we need to add shading. So if you imagine a ball or a sphere and you want to show how 3D it is and really build that form, you need to go in to add darkness and light to create the 3D effect. One of the most popular ways of creating shading is probably cross-hatching. But I would like to take it a step further. I will show you guys how to cross-hatch and how we apply it. But I'd also like to show you more advanced techniques of really adding texture to the object. I want you guys to realize that art is a universal language. And what I mean by that is we really transcend cultural and language barriers with art. If I draw a flower, somebody in Japan will understand that this is a flower. Somebody in Mexico will know that it's a flower. Somebody in Nigeria will know that it's a flower. And we can all speak to each other by using a visual language. So how do we communicate with what's in our hand? How do we talk with our pencil? How do I tell you this is glass, this is fur, this is bark, this is cloth? We are not going to approach all those different fibers and structures in the same way. We have to change the way we talk. We have to communicate. So I want you to think about, regardless what you're doing, whether you've got a brush in your hand, a pastel or a pencil, that you are talking and you are talking to the world. And you need to be able to talk clearly and articulate well. So in this next step, I want to take it much further than just cross-hatching. I want to show you guys, how do you draw bark? How do you draw skin? How do you draw reflection on glass? The go-to way to depict value and shading is hatching. So there are various different kinds of hatching. You guys get parallel hatching, which is lines that are just running parallel to each other. The darker you want it, the closer you have the lines together. The lighter you want it, the further away you have the lines from each other. The next technique is contour hatching. So the contour of a mountain is the up and the down. So your line is actually following the contour. It's still parallel lines, but they are bent, following the form or the shape of the object. The third one is cross-hatching. And this is where we cross lines with each other at a 45 degrees to the one way, 45 degrees to the other way. Once again, if you want a darker area, lines closer to each other. If you want a lighter area, lines further away from each other. There's also extreme fine cross-hatching, and this is probably what I was addicted to in high school. All my sketches used a lot of fine cross-hatching to really show realism in an extreme way. Then there's the other one called basket woven hatching, and this is quite fun and it's a playful way to create form and shape. Then the 6th method I just have to show you, but it will probably get you into an asylum, and that is either tick hatching or called stippling. It is hectic. It's definitely a certain kind of personality type that will sit there and make 1,000,000 dots to achieve what they like. And there's a lot of artists out there that uses this method that I respect, but it's not for me. I can't sit there and tick, tick, tick the whole day. I'll go insane. Ain't nobody got time for that. So it is a method that you need to be aware of, and you guys need to be able to use it. And some of you will be highly attracted to it and would love to use it. But it's not a Lillian Gray favorite. For our next exercise, I would like you guys to make small squares in your sketchbook, 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters. Pro tip, don't make the squares too big because this exercise can get really overwhelming. And we're going to try and copy all these textures depicted here: fur, bark of a tree, orange peel, skin, leaves, hair, fabric, brick, grass, and snake skin. Guys, this is a difficult exercise. It is supposed to feel really hard because we are creating new neural pathways in your mind. And whenever we learn something new, it's going to be difficult before it becomes easy. I always tell my students, you have to imagine that you're in the Amazon jungle with a machete, trying to chop your way through, trying to make a road. Eventually, once you've done all the chopping, you'd be able to walk. And eventually that will become a dirt road, and eventually with municipal agreement you can tar the thing, and eventually you can have a highway. But for now you're still in the jungle. You're still there with your machete chopping your way through. So it is going to be difficult. I want you guys to apply the same principle where we are going to be starting very light and then working our way to our darks. So say for instance when you're doing your bark of your tree, you're going to start very lightly, and as soon as you want to depict all those crevices, you're going to be moving to your bolder, darker pencils. And guys, that concludes our lesson. I really hope that you can go out there, make some exceptional sketches, and please send it to me, post it on our Facebook group, post it on our Instagram, send us so we can see how you guys are talking to the world. This is Peanut. He's officially our art school CEO. He's head of accounting, and he ensures that Griselda does her job, which is head of admin. He's always checking up on everybody, and today he's here to inspect our YouTube channel. I hope it's perfect.